What's up, everybody? So I'm really happy on the feedback that I got on the video from last week. I'm glad you guys really enjoyed the feeding all my reptiles video. Now, just as promised, here's the second video of my Pueblan Milksnake taking down those two hoppers like I promised I was going to make in the post that I put up. So here you go. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so you might remember in my last video I've actually been feeding Phoenix here some full-grown mice recently. Now it's been kind of hard for me to find the appropriate feeders. That's why I went with the full-grown mice, because the thing about pinkies is, although they're a great feeder for snakes and other animals that are very, very small, just to get them started on rodents, the thing is pinkies don't actually have solid bone yet, and they're low in calcium and they're high in fat. So with her being an older snake, going into her third year now, I wanted to make sure that she was getting something that had all the nutrition that she needed, including the calcium that she needed for proper growth and just an overall healthy snake, right? Well, the thing is, that's why I started using fuzzies at one point, and then I quickly went from fuzzies to full-grown mice because I felt she was big enough to eat them, which she is. But now that I've found hoppers and they've actually become more available to me, I'm going to move her to about 2 hoppers a week, just so that way I can get her used to eating a feeder that's a little bit bigger than a fuzzy before putting her back on full-grown mice. Yet again, she can eat full-grown mice, but the only issue that I had with her eating full-grown mice was it took a while for her to get one down. It was to the point where I didn't necessarily think that these were a totally appropriate feeder for the size that she's at. But a hopper, I'm sure she can take down with no problem. So today we're going to offer her hoppers. So let's see if she'll take this one right here. And she should with no problem, because these guys are amazing eaters, as she just took this one. Wonderful. Great, great. Alright guys, so hope you guys enjoyed this video seeing the snake eat its meal. Of course, before feeding any feeder to your pet snakes, please make sure that your feeders are completely defrosted before your animal swallows them. Make sure you feel the belly, make sure that everything's completely soft and defrosted. You don't want this animal swallowing any ice. These animals are exothermic, meaning that they get their temperature, meaning that their body's temperature is the same as the environment around them, and they don't generate any heat themselves within their body. With that being said, you need to make sure that you're not feeding this animal a prey item that's frozen, because that can be very bad for the animal's health, because its internal body temperature will drop far too quickly, and it more than likely won't be able to digest this food properly if it actually still had icy pieces within the center of the prey item. Good. To my knowledge, Phoenix is a female, just looking at the vent and at the bottom part at the tip of the tail. That's just my guess for now, but I'm not 100% certain for sure. And see how she can easily take down these hoppers. These hoppers aren't a problem for her at all. Like I said, she can take full-grown mice, but for now I just want her to get a little bit more size on her before I move her back to the full-grown mice as her staple prey item. For now, she'll be getting 2 hoppers a week, and that'll be her staple prey item. Just love how glossy this animal's skin looks. Even though Pueblan milksnakes are a very popular feeder in the pet trade, one thing that I love about them, and one thing that made me fall in love with them when I was a child, is just the striking colors they have, and just the idea that they mimic a venomous snake, the coral snake, that you can find in the same region where these guys are from. But the difference is, if you look at the pattern, red touches black, friend of Jack, red touches yellow, kills a fellow. So basically, for the coral snake, the red would touch the yellow, and that would indicate that is the venomous coral snake. And in this snake, the red is touching black, which would indicate that this animal is a Pueblan milksnake. Now, even though this rule is a good rule of thumb in order to tell whether a snake out in the wild is venomous or non-venomous, keep in mind that there's always exceptions to the rule. And if you go to some other areas around the world where some snakes have this same tricolor pattern, where they have red, black, and yellow, this rule does not always apply. So keep in mind, if you ever encounter a snake in the wild, if you're not 100% sure of what it is, and if there's any confusion at all, just leave the snake alone and don't bother it, because there's always a chance that it could be venomous and you don't want to get hurt. To me, a possibly venomous snake. Oh, went right over to it. Good girl. Okay. I think she's just trying to mosey right now. I don't think she's actually looking for food. Let me see if I can swing her back over and just get her attention on this other hopper. Please don't go on my hat. Let's see if she'll take this guy easy. Oh, good girl. Wow, I guess she was only a hair away before from snatching another prey item, so that's good. And so after she gets these two prey items down, I'm gonna put her back in her enclosure with a nice warm heat pad, so that way she can digest her food well at night. Another thing I like to do the first couple of days that I feed my snake, I try not to crank up the AC in the house too much. Although she has a heat mat with a thermostat, she doesn't have a fully enclosed enclosure, meaning that she just has a screen top, so her enclosure doesn't actually hold a lot of heat. With that being said, the air temperature from any type of air conditioning can drop the temperature in the house very quickly, and with that being said, that could be negative for her as far as her digestion. So I try to keep the temperature of the house as close to a normal room temperature at about 70 degrees as possible, just so that way the heating element can do a thorough job of keeping her enclosure nice and warm, so that way she can sit in a warm spot and digest efficiently. I'll swallow my finger in the process, girl. I'm kidding, she's not going to do that. This is a great close-up of her. As you can see, if you look real closely, you can see that her scales are extremely bright. Whoa. And if you look closely, as you see her swallowing her prey item, you can see kind of like the division between her scales, and you see that her skin in between is kind of pinkish. She's really cool looking. And if you look really close to the tip of the nose, you can see like there was almost another yellow band forming at the tip of the nose right above the nostrils. Whoop. Let's look a little bit, babe. Uh-oh. Please stop growing. It's right there. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. Okay, I see that right there. Yeah, that looks really cool. Yeah, this snake has never bitten me. Not that it can't happen one day. And she's been very calm with me. So this individual right here has been a awesome pet to keep. The only trouble that she's ever gotten into before is she's a bit flighty sometimes, and if I startle her, she will try to slither away quickly. But other than that, she's been a great pet so far. Hasn't caused me any problems. She's a great eater. She's been in great health as far as I know. And yeah, she's just a joy to keep. Love the snake. Alright, you got that down, even down to the tip of the tail. Just tongue flicking again, smelling things. Pushing that prey item down to her stomach. So once she gets that about halfway down, I'll pick her up, put her back in the enclosure. Just want to make sure that the prey item's down deep enough so she won't regurgitate it right away in case I startle her. Granted, she's never done that before, but there is a chance that that could happen. Let me see. So you just get one more squeeze. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that, isn't that cool, guys? Cool, so now she has a nice fat stomach. Okay, girl, come on, let's go back in the enclosure. baby. Let's go back. Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.